you guys here. What a great background. You guys all have good concepts of what testing is. So I think we'll have some good discussion today, I hope, and good ideas shared among the room. So that's my goal at least, to talk about some new things and then get y'all's thoughts on this, okay? So, because you're experts, and I love that. It's great. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say. So like I said, I'm Robin Poston from the System Testing Excellence Program. We're out of the FedEx Institute of Technology at the University of Memphis. We have the most researchers in the United States gathered together there to look at software testing. We're pretty specific to software, so we don't do much with hardware testing, but we mostly focus on software-intensive systems. And how do we do testing better, faster, cheaper, right? That's what companies want today. And so we work with a lot of company partners to figure those things out. So one of the things that happened in the last couple of years is our companies started saying, whoa, we've got a problem with cybersecurity. Testers, where are you? Are you helping? And we found that the testing community, at least in Memphis, wasn't as aware of cybersecurity problems and maybe needed to be. So we started going down this area as a new area of research for us. We partnered with our computer science cybersecurity experts at the university. So together we came together and started talking about, we meet once per month and we just talk about and we pull data and information, academic papers, we bring in guest speakers, and we talk about this topic. So all the slides I'm going to share with you come from a lot of that work, okay? So, hello. All right, that's not going to work. I will go over here. Is it not on? It's not even turned on. That's right. Okay. Saving the battery. That's good, right? There we go. Okay. So what we're going to talk about today is the types and complexities involved with cybersecurity. There's a lot of stuff out there. There are a lot of bad guys. And those bad guys are going to find a way to take your system down. And so all the different types of cybersecurity challenges that cybersecurity professionals have to deal with, testers can also help them by testing for those things to see if there's vulnerabilities in the system. Number two would be the difficulty of cybersecurity and testing. Hey, guess what? Those bad guys are smart. They're devious. They're scary. They're always trying. They don't stop. They are attacking you 1 million times per day. Even if you take a break and I got to rest here, they're going to get in. You only have to mess up one time. They mess up all the time. They can't get in, but all they have to do is succeed one time, right? So it's a problem where you're constantly being bombarded. How do you keep them out? And so there's a lot of different testing techniques that look at how you do these things. Third is, what are some methods that we know about? Penetration testing is very good. There's a lot of other types of testing we need to start thinking about when it comes to security. And then lastly, building some theory around this. So we are academic researchers. We believe that you can't just go out there and do stuff without understanding why you do it. If you don't understand why, then when the world changes, you can't change with it. You're just following the checklist. Check, check, check. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. Done. Wait a minute. Maybe there were other things you needed to do. So we want to talk about why we do things. We want to get a little deeper in our understanding of the science behind why we do testing. So that way, when the world changes, we can change with it. We don't just follow the rules. We actually think about the rules and where they apply and maybe where they need to change. So that's why that's a very strong focus for us. Okay, so we talk about cybersecurity in the United States. These are public announcements. There are security breaches and problems all the time. We have something called the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They are constantly sending out alerts to let companies know There's certain kinds of problems that is happening to certain companies. They let other companies know so they can start protecting themselves. I don't know, do we have anything like that here in Malaysia? We have like an what's it called? Cybersecurity division. Do they actually send out these kinds of alerts?
Yes.
Do we know? Yes? Okay. And so we're watching those. We're making sure to incorporate those into our plans, right? And so when we talk about cybersecurity, what is cyber? Have you ever stopped to think? Like, okay, security, we know, right? There's a guard at the door. Security. But what's cyber security? What's cyber?
Information in terms of digital.
So information.
In form of digital.
So digital information, is that cyber? It's kind of ambiguous, right? It's difficult to get your head around. Yes, it's part, information that's digital, that's getting passed around across a network.
And
Oftentimes
also,
a public.
Cloud computing.
Cloud, it's usually a public network, right? The internet, right? So I put up here, it's ambiguous. Usually you hear it like cyber cafe, cyber security, right? You hear it as cyber threats. It's usually the first word in a couple of words, right? Cyberspace, right, starts to talk about information in the social world and on the physical networks. So cyberspace are things like your Facebook account, your what's popular today, Instagram, right? By the way, my nephew is a teenager. He says Facebook is for old people. Right? So there's lots of more tools that he loves. Instagram. What's the other one? That Snapchat. Right? There's more and more and more, right? More ways for our cyberspace to grow. Bad guys to pull all that information. Do you know they're pulling all that information about your customers, about you? All that information you put out there. They can figure out your dog's name, your cat's name, your children's name, your friends' names. They know your age. You guys Google yourself. You'll see it all come. You're like, wow, I had no idea the world knows so much about me, right? Bad guys are using that. They're pulling that. They're getting that. And then they're pulling any information they can get from anywhere else. They're looking at your emails. Yes, sometimes. And they're pulling more information about you so that they can then go and do identity theft or break into a company using your password because they can figure that out. So we have to find ways to not let them do these things, right? To protect ourselves. So part of it is a human, the people component, but part of it's a technical component. We'll talk about both. The third bullet point, cyber threats, right? Cyber threats are realized by exploiting vulnerabilities. Look, if you think about criminals, what do criminals want? They want to steal something. They want to take something from you, but they don't want to fight you. They want to do it easy. They want to get it and run away. They don't want to get caught. They don't want to have a big fuss about it. They don't want their name in the newspaper, right? They just want to get their goods, they want to get their information and run away. So the harder we make it, the more they won't worry about us, right? The harder we make it for them to steal from us, they won't bother. They want something easy. They want to get what they want and run away. Well, our companies are no different. If we keep our companies as secure as possible, they won't mess with us. They won't bother us. But how do we know if our companies are secure if we don't test to make sure they're secure? Are we doing that? Are we testing to make sure our company's information is secure? Maybe, yes. Some places, yes. I see about 3 heads shaking. That's it. I have to say in the United States, we're just now starting to do that. We're very bad about that. Because we keep thinking, oh, the security people will deal with it. Well, they're dealing with it, right? But they're not testing for it. They're not going out. They don't have our minds. They don't think like a tester. They don't think, how do we break this? How do we break in? They're thinking, how do we keep it secure? They're not thinking like the bad guy. Well, they're trying to. They're actually trying to, but they don't think like us. How do we break it? How do we break in to it? They're thinking, how do we keep it secure? Hey, it's secure. That's good. No, it's probably not, right? Hey, we have no defects. We didn't find any defects, so we're okay, right? You guys should be going, no, that means we didn't find it yet. There's always another defect, yeah?
Yes.
That's how we think. They don't think like that. They think, hey, it's secure. And we think, no, it's probably not. We just haven't found the vulnerability yet. So what I'm trying to say is, cyber threats are real, they're out there, and they exploit those vulnerabilities, and we're not finding all of them because testers aren't as involved as they should be. Okay. And then lastly, cybersecurity must migrate adverse impact. Mitigate. So it's like mitigate, reduce it, right? They must reduce adverse impacts. Identify where you've got to shore things up, and disrupt what I'm going to call the kill chain. Now, I'm going to go more into the kill chain in a minute. Because if you think about a bad guy, right? The bad guy wants to get into your computer system. So the kill chain means at various points along the way, they're going to get in. By the way, they are going to get in. They will get in. Period. They are trying so hard. They will get in. You cannot keep them out. Okay? So, if they get in, you want to stop them. You want to find them and stop them. So we call that the kill chain. We can watch them maneuver in, we can watch them look around inside our system, and we want to protect our most valuable information. Maybe credit cards, maybe personal addresses, and information about our customers. So our information that's secure, we want to make sure, even if they get in, they can't get into our most important asset information, okay? So there's a kill chain. You can, at any point along the way, find a way to kill them, to get them out of there. Kill them, I mean, not really kill, right? Sorry. We're not really killing them. We're killing the virus, okay? Usually it's a malware or a virus, okay, all right. No, we don't have to, okay, you got it. All right, so what we want to do is we want to reduce the impact. They will get in. We cannot keep them out, okay? So it will happen. And so we want to reduce the impact on our system. Okay. So having said that, let's talk a little bit about cybersecurity from the past to today. Notice something up here, I went back and looked at the definition of cybersecurity. It hasn't been around that long. If you look in 2008, right, the definition here says that cybersecurity is used to protect the cyber environment and organization and users' assets. It said we're out to protect. Okay, protect, that's nice. But notice it doesn't say anything about securing or finding vulnerabilities or getting rid of the bad guys. It just says we're here to protect you. We're going to protect you. All right, year 2010, right, we move forward. Hey, now it's about protecting information and information systems. We move from just protecting you and your assets to now we're going to protect your information. We now realize that private information is what the bad guys want. They want your money. Right? They want your asset. They want to steal things from the company. They want to steal things from us, from each person. And then lastly, you see today we start to talk about that cybersecurity now covers any of the interests, tangible and intangible, involved in attacks. So it's not just information, it could be physical assets. The U.S. government, the Department of Defense, the military, is very, very scared that their missiles will get stolen, right? So it's not just, okay, it's information, but it's also now property, intangible things. We have something called the electronic grid. You guys do too. It's why we have lights, right? Guess what? It's all run by software. What if bad guys got in there and shut down all the power to this city right now for the next 5 days? Would that be good? No. So the power grid, the physical assets now, because they're run off of software-intensive systems, are vulnerable to everything's vulnerable now. It's not just, okay, yes, information, but hey, we can take a country down by turning off their power supply.